morning, folks. Kirk here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Busy street, so we might get drowned out. Today what we're going to do is, I'm going to say the words, same day scratch and brown. It is not for the homeowners to do same day scratch and brown. You have to have a certification. What we've come here to do is, the folks here already did their own lap. Me, when I come to a window like this, I used an extra tube just to be on the safe side that this is leak-proof. They had a thin bead of caulking on it. I always want to make sure that it's done right. I don't know if you could see that patch way up there. There's a patch in the middle of the wall. It's a terrible patch. I came here a week ago and looked at it, and I was looking at the patchwork in the sun, and it's obvious, and I thought, wow, that's terrible. I looked at this wall and I thought, now that's a better match. I did this wall about 14 years ago. And then I had the homeowner put his own crown on right here. Anyway, reminds me of that old song, I've Been Everywhere, Man, by Johnny Cash. I come across a lot of jobs, that's how long I've been doing this stuff. So anyway, we did this inside now 14, 15 years ago, and the homeowner put his own styrofoam cap. Hear that? Hollow sound of styrofoam. Anyway, we're going to do the same day, scratch and brown. Over here I want to show you guys something. I got a nasty crack here. And I tell folks this all the time. Okay, I tell the folks here, if I'm doing that, I'll do this free of charge because I'm already here. Now what does free of charge mean? I'm going to break this out. I'm going to fill it with Sikaflex polyurethane caulking. We'll put fiber mesh tape on each side. I'm going to put Weldcrete and I'm going to feather this joint in. Is this going to last? No, it's not going to last. But I give them the alternative. Based on 30 years, I've had the advantage of a lot of observing. I've torn walls out many, many, many times, thousands of times. And I told her, if you think that was bad right there, you expected a little patch like this, and you got that whole wall, I believe if we open this 3 inches here, 3 inches here, that we're going to have wood rot here and about possibly here. It could go further. This whole porch could have to be redone. My personal opinion is it probably would have to. Right before Christmas, I said, I'll open it up for you. And then once you see that what we have here, we can go from there. I'll have to charge you for it. But it is almost Christmas now, and I thought if you're not willing to probably reconstruct this whole porch, I put it off. I leave the decision to the homeowner. They said, Kirk, we'll take you up on that freebie fix. So that's what we're going to do here. I say that because I'm going to show this fix too also in the video, and there's always somebody who's going to write me and say, hey man, why don't you tear that whole wall off? It is not my call to tear the whole wall off, but it is my call to inform the homeowners what I would do in their situation. Anyway, we're going to get started, and I'm going to go ahead and scratch and brown this same day, and I'll show you how we do it. Normally I'm starting at the top, but figure what the heck, I'll start from the bottom right now. Alright guys, I put the first coat on, I've scratched it. Technically I don't really need to scratch it, but to prove a point, I do that. Somebody sharp might have noticed, says, hey, there's no corner aid here. Well, the corners on this house are very, very jagged, so we're obviously making them jagged. And if there's no corner aid on there, how the heck am I filling this up? Well, take some time in. I'm just going like so. I'm putting a little bit here, let it set, hit it upward. And I continue to do that same process over and over. A little bit here, go upward. That's how I make my corners if it's a jagged edge. And then at the end of the job, I'm going to make it a little bit more jagged because that's what they have. Anyway, we're getting ready to do the second coat. All right, guys, I'm putting up my second coat. I always like to fill these windows out full. My first coat is set enough. Just like so. Ooh, that's a lot of mud there. Yeah. We get this joint underneath it. Just that. Any fat, we just find a place for the fat. And no, I'm not Darby in this wall. A lot of times I'll rod or Darby. But we have a wavy finish, full of designs, full of waves, so that's what we're giving it. All right, guys, I floated everything. And earlier I was saying that they did a patch here that didn't match. It wouldn't match from here on up. It's very heavy. It's like what I did. If you're going to float something, when you first float it with a lot of water, it brings out a lot of the aggregate, a lot of the sand. If you wait half hour, then you hit it again, it'll push the sand in a little bit, especially if you leave less water on your float. What they originally had here when they built the house, and this is, they floated it just like I did. These guys just left it floated. They didn't use any steel trowel movement. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it a little bit, just like this. I'm just going to let my trowel skip. See, the trowel is skipping on it a little bit. You don't ever want a hard steel trowel, a second coat, all the way, because it will crack like an egg because you seal it. So this right here, what I'm doing now, is just to give it that same finish. I don't want to be one of those fellas that say, oh, give it 10 coats of paint and it'll match. When I first started off in the trade, about 30 years ago, yeah, we used to say, oh, you need more paint, but we've learned over the years, you don't need more paint, you just need to match the finished product of the painted surface. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And again, this corner is a bit jagged to match the rest of the corner. And just lightly hit it. I'm barely holding this trowel. Just like, yeah, barely holding it just to get rid of a little bit more of the aggregate. That way, when it's painted, it matches that existing finish. I'm going to drop down and we'll show you the final in a few minutes. Okay guys, we're set. I rushed the drying process by taking a float and hitting it against the wall. I get the water right off of there. Get that water off of there. Slam that out, now it's drier. Rather than wait here another 10-15 minutes, I dry it out. Now when I come, it removes and compresses a lot of the heavier aggregate. Then I just take my trowel and just tap it like that. And yeah, of course, I'm going to wash this in. One of our things is we always leave a job better than we found it. Normally I would end it, but I want to show you this crack over here because Jay says, well, Dad, how do you know that wall's bad? I'll show you. Okay. Not only do I have the benefit or advantage of all my years in the trade, but this is wood right here. Wood is exposed. All this is wood, and that wood is full of mold. I just noticed that, but I just knew this was bad just by looking at it, just because all the time I have in. We've removed this. There's nothing in there. It's just open space. So, again, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to put this on video, but I'm going to fill this up with a tube of coffee. I'm going to put fiber mesh tape. I'm going to float it out, and I'm going to feather it right in. That's going to work for this guy here on a temporary basis. Don't think that's a permanent fix, like I said earlier. Anyway, folks, I thank you guys for watching. My name is Kirk. Thanks, Jay, for holding the camera and mixing all this. And when you're mixing this cement here, you better have 4 or 5 years in. Otherwise, this is not your typical Portland cement. It's rapid set eyes and wall. You better know what you're doing. Don't try to do this in your homework. Don't try to do it. Thank you, folks, for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.